Hello everyone. The First Minister has asked me to record this message for you today, and I was delighted to accept this opportunity. My name is John Swinney and I'm the Deputy First Minister of Scotland. I work with other ministers to ensure that our response to climate change is being dealt with right across the whole of government. It was a privilege to meet with some of you last year and to hear about your ideas for how we can tackle climate change in Scotland. At COP26 in Glasgow, people from all around the world came together to talk about the climate emergency and what we need to do to stop it. I was really proud of the role that Scotland played in hosting COP26 and to be able to show the work that Scotland is already doing. As you know, Scotland has already made a lot of progress in tackling climate change. But like other countries, we need to do and we must do a lot more. That's why the Scottish Government set up an independent climate assembly. We wanted to ask people their views on the changes that Scotland needs to make. We also wanted children and young people to take part in that process. That's why our Climate Assembly worked with the Children's Parliament to make sure that children and young people could have their say in this vital issue. In total, more than 100 of you from across Scotland took part in the different workshops and surveys that were held as part of this process. I know it wasn't always easy doing that online, particularly during the period of lockdown. So I want to say a very big thank you to all of you for all that you contributed to this process. I'm particularly grateful to the members of the investigator team and their mascots, Brochan the hedgehog. The investigators did a great job of exploring in detail the ideas everyone put forward, and I know the Assembly members and experts were really impressed by your contribution. The calls to action that you've helped to produce are fantastic. They're clear, they're smart, and they're imaginative. They show just how much you've learned about this issue and how much you care about tackling this major problem. So congratulations to all of you. The Scottish Government has now set out our response to the ideas that you and the Assembly have come up with. It would take me too long to talk about all of the things that it includes, but I do want to focus on a few important things we're doing based on your ideas. For example, you told us we should make it easier for people to change their diet and to understand where their food comes from. So we're now looking at the idea of labelling foods to help people know if they're good for the environment. We will also support the Dandelion School Growing Project. 100,000 children and young people will take part in the project, and it will allow them to experiment with different ways of growing crops. Another of your calls to action focused on travel. You said that we needed to make it easier for people to travel in ways which cause less pollution. So the government is now testing plans to give free bikes to school children who can't afford one. And we are making it free for young people to travel on buses. You've also pointed out that we all need to make changes to our lifestyles. That's exactly right. That's why the government supports your idea for more sharing libraries. Sharing libraries will help us all cut down on the amount of things that we use and the amount that we waste. So we want to see 4 times as many as there are now, which would mean 100 sharing libraries across Scotland. You also said that we need to help children and young people learn about the climate emergency. We agree with you. So we will make sure that pupils can spend more time learning about it in school. The final call you made is that we should take children and young people seriously. And I think that's particularly important on this issue. After all, climate change will affect you all the most. You've made that clear in your report. So it's only fair that people of your age are able to have your say in decisions about the future. Of course, children and young people are also really good at coming up with ideas. So we need to make sure that your ideas are heard and put into practice. That's why we'll be asking children and young people to help draw up plans to make Scotland a fairer and a greener country. And it's why I'm so pleased that all of you played a part in Scotland's Climate Assembly. Your calls to action are already making a difference, and they will keep on helping the government to make the right decisions in the future about climate change. So thank you all once again for the fantastic effort that you've put in from me, from the First Minister, and from the whole of the Scottish Government. I hope that you all enjoyed taking part in this process. I hope you've learned a lot and are proud of what you have achieved. And I hope that you'll continue to be leaders in helping us to tackle the climate emergency in your communities, in your lives.